Hi, Brightwood family. I miss you, love you all. It is Miss Waiter here, and I am excited to be able to read you one of my favorite books, which is The Bed Who Ran Away by Dan Greenberg and illustrated by John Wallner. Once upon a time, it is said, there lived an exceptional double bunk bed. The bunk on the top of the bed was the same as the one on the bottom, and the bed had a name. The name of the bed that I speak of was Bosco, although I have heard he preferred the name Roscoe. In the bed slept a boy whom his parents called Ned, and his smart sister Nancy, and a panda named Fred. Now Ned had the top bunk and Nancy the bottom. She slept with him, and Fred slept with either, depending who got him. And Bosco was happy at night with his friends, but something bad happens before my tale ends. The bad thing that happens, I'm sad to relate, began around bedtime one night about 8. Nancy and Ned were watching TV, and their mother and father were drinking some tea, when the telephone rang and Mom went to answer. And who should it be but Aunt Zelda, the dancer? Aunt Zelda, it seems, had returned from a tour of far-off places no one's ever been before, and while she told tales of Tanders and Dector, the hour on the clock became later and later. So Mom talked to Zelda while Dad read the news. The time went unnoticed, and Dad took a snooze. Only Nancy and Ned, in their overstuffed chair, knew how late it was getting, and they didn't care. They watched the TV and they hugged Panda Fred and completely forgot about Bosco, their bed. But Bosco, I'm terribly sorry to say, did not forget them, and it ruined his day and his night in addition, and he made a low moan, for his friends had gone off and left him alone. Perhaps, Bosco thought as he watched the clock sadly, I was lumpy last night and made them sleep badly. And now they have found a bed they like better, and they've cast me aside like an old worn-out sweater. The hands on the clock showed 8:45, and then it was 9, but they didn't arrive. And the clock struck 9:30, and what do you think? A teardrop from poor Bosco's eye with a plink. If they don't come in here at the latest by 10, that means, Bosco thought, I won't see them again. I will slip out the window and find some nice kids who will love me a lot more than these children did. So Bosco kept watch by the clock on the wall, while Mom was involved with her telephone call. Father continued to snooze on the couch, and Nancy and Ned continued to slouch on the overstuffed chair with their old panda Fred, and no one at all even thought the word bed. So the old clock struck the hour of 10. Bosco went to the window and had a strong yen to just burst out crying, but he was too proud, so he slipped out the window without being loud. Well, Zelda, said Mother, I can't say that I'm... Good gracious, good heavens, just look at the time. Good night, dear, said Zelda. We'll talk more at Grandma's. Good night, Mother said. Kids, get your pajamas. You mean that it's 8 and bedtime already? Said Nan and her naughty twin brother, Nettie. No, it's 2 hours later, said Mother. Now hurry and run off to bed, or Mother will worry. Okay, Mom, they said as they stood up with a grin and went to their bedroom. But when they walked in, the smiles on their faces dissolved in a trice. They looked around once, they looked around twice. Help, Mother, help, Father, they yelled. It's so weird, our sweet little Bosco has just disappeared. The mother and father rushed in through the door, took a quick look about, and their jaws hit the floor. I do not believe what my eyes tell me now. Your bed, said their mother, went away, but, well, how? I have no idea how, said young Ned, but I think I know why we lost our nice bed. Then tell us, said Father, my fine little scholars, for a new one will cost about $300. I think that poor Bosco left for one reason only, because, Nancy said, he must have been lonely. I think what she's saying, said Ned, is quite true. But what in the world can the two of us do? We will get a new bed in a week more or less. You can sleep on the couch in the meantime, I guess, said Father, which made both children bawl. If we can't have our Bosco, we want no bed at all. Whatever you like, Father said. That's the score. Perhaps you'd prefer to sleep on the floor. And oddly enough, though their mom nearly wept, is exactly where those children slept. They wrapped themselves up in quilts worn and patchy and two heavy blankets that were woolly and scratchy. The floor was quite hard, but they slept nonetheless. It was well past 11, but then I would guess. By then I would guess. They dreamed of their Bosco showing defiance to hideous monsters and bed-eating giants. Just after midnight, they awoke with a fright. They sensed that there was something outside in the night. Oh, Nancy, cried Ned. Call Mommy, I'm scared. But Nan knew that girls were young women who dared. She crept to the window and climbed onto the sill. Be careful, called Nettie. Nancy said, I will. And before you could say, oh, Jinkies, go hide, brave Nancy had flung the big window wide. Who's out there, she called, in a voice loud and clear. And the next thing she knew, a black shape had drawn near. It was big, black, and scary. It sure wasn't human. And its voice, when it spoke, was creepy and booming. Are there kids in this house? The black shape inquired. What of it? Said Ned, in a voice he admired. What of it? Said Nancy, echoing Nettie. The shape seemed impressed that their voices were steady. The reason I asked, the big black shape cried. I'm abed and I'm lonesome without kids inside. It's Bosco, yelled Ned through the black shape. Said whom? And both children helped him climb into their room. Are you glad that I'm back? Said the unhappy bed. Oh, Bosco, we missed you, said Nancy and Ned. In that case, I might even stay for a while, said Bosco, and smiled a sad little smile. The children and Fred went to bed with much laughter, and all of them lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed The Bed Who Ran Away from Home. Again, I miss you guys so much, and I can't wait till I get to see you again. Love you. And I hope you are doing well.
Hi, friends. Let's close out our night together before everyone gets to bed. Repeat either after me or along with me. At Brightwood School, we are a family. We take care of ourselves, each other, and our environment. Another day has passed, and we look forward to another day together tomorrow. Good night. Good night, everyone.